6 minutes, 17 of our friends were taken from us, 15 were injured, and everyone, absolutely everyone, in the Douglas community was forever altered.
My name is Naomi, and I'm 11 years old.
Every time I think about those kids, it gets me mad.
15-year-old Anthony Borges, the most gravely wounded survivor of the Parkland massacre.
Columbine, Virginia Tech,
Tucson,
Aurora.
After 9 surgeries and countless prayers, 15-year-old Anthony Borges has won the hearts of folks here in Parkland, the nation, and really around the world for his real-world heroics here at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School 7 weeks ago.
There are angry words being thrown around in the wake of the shooting at Stoneman Douglas High School.
It shouldn't have happened on February 14th. Shouldn't have happened ever. Not in my school or in any other school.
You feel lucky to be alive? Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Fort Hood, Oak Creek,
Newtown.
Newtown.
And there have been outpourings of love throughout the country and around the world.
Newtown.
Newtown.
I am here today to represent Cortland Arrington.
How many more?
I am here today to represent Hadia Pendleton.
And I told you to be patient. And I told you to
I am here today to represent Tiana Thompson, who at just 16 was shot dead in her home here in Washington, D.C.
How do you feel right now?
I feel good.
Anthony speaks haltingly, the result of his wounds.
How many times did you get hit?
5.
5 times.
My worst day as president was hearing that 26-year-olds had been shot in the most brutal way in their school where they should have been safe.
Every year, gun manufacturers donate millions of dollars to the NRA through its Corporate Partners Program.
It's 2013. The Senate had just failed to expand background checks for gun sales, and you're standing there with the Sandy Hook families.
I lost my brother a few years ago, well, 10 years ago, and I've also lost a countless amount of family members and friends to gun violence as well.
Try to comfort parents of these 6-year-olds and their siblings, 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds whose little sisters or little brothers had just been slaughtered.
Hate wants us to be too weak to change anything.
And my question to you is, what is your advice to those youth growing up surrounded by poverty and gun violence?
If there is a book that you want to read but it hasn't been written yet, you must be the one to write it.
It's almost tempting to be paralyzed by such a monstrously hateful act, to despair and say, well, it's the way the world is now.
I'm here to say never again.
Do we really think that thousands of families whose lives have been shattered by gun violence don't have a right to weigh in on this issue?
People have said that I am too young to have these thoughts on my own.
We have wept with you. That day that I spoke at the Sandy Hook Memorial is the only day I've seen a member of the Secret Service cry while they were standing there.
With an AR-15, and my friend Carmen would never complain to me about piano practice. Aaron Feist would never call Kira Miss Sunshine. Helen Ramsey would never hang out after school with Matt. Elena Petty would never. Kara Lugren would never. Chris Hickson would never. Luke Hoyer would never. Marquine Duque Aguiano would never. Peter Wang would never. Alyssa Al-Hadaf would never. Jamie Guttenberg would never. Meadow Pollock would never.
Because every time I read out a name of one who'd been killed, the families, you could just hear the pain. Charlotte, Daniel, Olivia.
It's as if there's a national script that we have learned.
Our unalienable right to life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness, those rights were stripped from college kids in Blacksburg and Santa Barbara, from high schoolers at Columbine.
Love in response to hate.
And from first graders in Newtown. first graders. And from every family who never imagined that their loved one would be taken from our lives by a bullet from a gun.
No one understood the extent of what had happened. No one could believe that there were bodies in that building waiting to be identified for over a day.
Love your family. Love the families and the victims and the people of Orlando. But let's remember that love is a verb. And to love means to do something.